Here's
a story. Johnny the Mad Dragon, who had my mother and Puff by his side. They were four friends, certainly obnoxious, but full of dragon's pride.
Here's the story of the great Jesse Godfrey, with Big D Go-Go and Mr. Rob. Never Jesse's crew, so Jason passionate, and the red V shine true. Till the one day when Johnny met young Jesse, and they knew
It was much more than a hunt. That this group would form a fiery podcast. That's how we cut the Mad Dragons up. Mad Dragons up. Mad Dragons up. That's the way we became the Mad Dragons up. Come on, Dragons fans! Fire up!
Well, good evening and welcome to the Mad Dragons podcast for tonight. Another disappointing loss. Not a very magical performance being Magic Round, and I thought we would have been a lot better. There were some moments we were good, but again, no spells. Looked like we were under a spell, and we never got out of it all night. We'll throw over to Hasman, who will tell us a bit more about his take on the game, and we'll get into that.
What's up, mutual?
Stretched out, looking pious and pure to the tin pan lock strapped on your front door. Well, there ain't nothing but heroes and villains, more villains than heroes. What can you tell? What from the next? Can you go down from zero? There ain't nothing but heroes and villains, more villains than heroes. All lined up from the east to the west, black and moon on an infinite chest.
I don't know why I keep doing this to myself. So, heroes and villains, round 9, Abracadabra, the magic spell of death. When, oh when, will we learn? Drop balls, stupid penalties, and 6 agains conceded. And once again, the back's doing the work the forward should be doing. The Tigers forwards went through the middle the same way the Roosters did last week, with the exact same result. A soul-crushing defeat, albeit a much smaller one. Not much good came out of that game, but one bright spark was LKT. He did show glimpses of the heads-up footy they can play. Unfortunately, he didn't get much help from his halves partner. Dylan Egan was an absolute tackling machine, 40 without miss. Holmes with 259 metres and a line break. Little had immediate effect when he came on, getting 2 tries for his efforts, so there were a few good points. Now, Jaden Sewer, what in the hell were you thinking? All you had to do was fall over the line and we're back in the game. Instead, you go for the big dive, lose control of the ball, look like an absolute clown in the process. All of a sudden, Tigers score a 105-metre try, 12-point turnaround, pretty much killed us. Now, can we all agree that Kyle Flanagan is not the half we're looking for? Surely. Nepotism is the only thing standing between him and a meeting with the reserve grade coach. What is it going to take for him to be dropped? He was brought to the club as a 14, as we've said 1,000 times, but circumstances have seen him in a position he's clearly not qualified for. Shane Flanagan has a lot to answer for. So to sum up, LKT is a hero, Cyril and the Flanagans are the zeros. Back to you, Jesse.
Yeah, thank you for that, Hasman. Yep, another disappointing game, and as you nailed it on the head, something we will talk a bit later. The Jaden Sewer blunder, which we'll talk about a little later, turned out to be a crucial point in the turning point in the contest. That's for sure. But welcome to the Mad Dragons podcast for tonight. We do have Hasman, you've already heard from. We also have Big T in the top right corner, and just below me there we got Coco. Good evening, everyone.
Can I just say, Jess? My mum taught me, if I haven't got anything nice to say, I shouldn't say anything at all.
That's a good saying.
You're in the wrong place for that, Matt.
Now we'll get into the Player of the Year voting. For the Player of the Year voting tonight, we had We had 3 players that did make the top 3, and on the player of the match went to Val Holmes with 16 votes. In second
Yeah,
place,
mate.
Jacob Little with 12, and who got a double in that game. And in third in the voting was rookie Hamish Stewart, who got 7 points. So yeah, Big T, what do you make of
There was
Val Holmes' performance, the man of the match?
there was a few bright lights in the game that come out. Little Neg had a great game, but Val Holmes, he made a couple of terrible errors. The last one he made with 3 minutes to go, we were on the attack, last tackle, and he fucks the play the ball up. Yeah, I don't know. Val Holmes had an indifferent game, and yeah, but there was some bright lights from the game, but the game was a shocker.
Yep. Yeah. What do you take out of Val Holmes' game, Coco?
I don't know how he got player of the match. I thought he played like shit. No disrespect or anything, but I don't know what game I was watching, but I did
None
not
taken.
He wasn't as bad as the others, but still, I just didn't think he, and it was tricky. I had to rewatch the game and go, who was my 3-2-1? But yeah, I didn't think he didn't play the best, but it's just another roller coaster ride for us.
Yes. Muhammad
just,
Dib's correct.
Mm-hmm. Very frustrating.
It is.
You got max votes from four people, so it couldn't have been too bad.
Yeah. I thought he had a good game, mate. 260 metres.
Yeah.
I think he done all right, but he made a few crucial errors. And he does that all the time. He's probably up there in the error count.
Second in the voting with 12 votes went to Jacob Little, man. Didn't he make a difference when he came on? 2 tries from him, and yeah, he looked pretty good when Damien Cook went off, and goes to show, should he be the starting 9 ahead of Cookie?
Well, I mean, especially you've got to ask himself, he has the same effects playing 80 minutes that he does for the bench. You think if he starts the game, he plays as well as he did last night? That's the question that needs to be answered. But I think we may need to give it a go because Damien Cook has not offered much. If you want to send Ilias down to reserve grade, you might as well bloody send him as well.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't come back as the player he was at Souths when he was playing for New South Wales and Australia. He's not that player anymore, and I don't think Dragons fans should expect him to be. I know Flano said when we signed him, he's still capable of playing Origin football. Those days are well behind him. And third in the voting went to Gerringong boy Hamish Stewart, Big T. He got his first try.
Yeah, mate. Got his first try, unbelievable.
Good game.
He scored his first try. He got up and just ran back. There was no super celebration of scoring his first try. He got up, let's get this work done. I'm not here to fucking party. I'm here to play. So congratulations to the lad. Absolutely fantastic. I thought Luch has found his spot in the team.
Yep. So we'll get into moments of the match. You're on the Mad Dragons podcast, sponsored by Complete Warehouse Solutions. Now, Coco, if you're there, I'm liking King Togia. Liking King Togia. He's been setting up tries left, right, and centre in New South Wales Cup, and he took no time to get going, and he's recalled to the NRL side. It's just 6 minutes into the game, he put Dylan Egan over. What a try assist there from Lycan King Togia.
It was like, Jamie Soward, how he used to do the kicks and the try assist. I thought it was brilliant. I thought good on him. He's young. He's like Mayor King. He got into the NRL. I like him. He's a young kid. He's a young kid. I just want Flanagan to keep him. Now, I know he's a young kid. Maybe if we change, Ilias comes in and Flanagan, and no disrespect to Flanagan, sometimes going back to New South Wales Cup makes them a better player. Look at Sloan, for instance. He went for 3 weeks and he's come back. It's no harm in getting your passion back,
Yeah, 100%. He did start the game very well, I thought. Now Hasman, a few minutes later though, the Tigers hit straight back with a try to Charlie Staines. Now they caught Tyrell Sloan in out there. Were you worried how easily Charlie Staines went in out there when Galvin found the space?
Yeah, look, whatever Sloan can do in attack over on the wing, he's got some serious defensive liabilities. I was not surprised at all how easily they scored down both wings actually. That pairing of I think Sully's on Sloan's side, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a really bad idea because I mean Sully's a pretty shit defender too, so that just makes Sloan look worse by comparison.
100%, yeah. And he got caught up a few times, but the man of the match, according to the panel, Big T, Val Holmes, some good offloading from
We just spoke
Flanagan.
about Val.
And then Val Holmes, he dummied to about 20 people or something. The way he went, and it was a pretty magical try from him.
Well, they were saying that in the commentary, he reminds them so much of Sludge, Steve Rogers. The way he moves, the way he darts, the way he plays his football. And I agree, he's a similar footballer, similar style. So, yeah, Steve Rogers 2.0.
And what do you think of the try? Did
Oh,
you think he was always going to get there? Did you have some doubts?
Yeah, I thought he fucked up. I thought he was. They've got him here. No, he should have passed it. Oh, he got there. So yeah, great try.
Yep. And then a few minutes later, as Hasman said, the Tigers went over the other wing. Now Coco, it was Luai and Galvin combining as well as Safar putting Taruva over, catching out Coriel and Val Holmes. That's not good.
That broke my heart.
A couple of weeks in a row when they've been targeting both our wings.
Yeah, it's just terrible. Like I think we need to stay in position, and that try looked really easy because of the way there was gaps, and I was so angry. I couldn't even look at it. I was like, oh, here we go. It felt like the Roosters again because the Roosters had position over us, and we were always either not in the positions we were meant to be in, or so. Yeah, I was just like, oh. How did you feel about that one, Jesse? How did you feel about that try?
Not good. I wasn't surprised because, as Hasman said, we are really weak out on the wings in terms of defense.
Yeah.
And I expected better from Coriella, who's got more experience. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why he was that far in field. So yeah, there's a huge hole, and you can't let a winger like Taruva stroll over like that. Taruva's one of the best finishers in the game.
Being taught. Like,
we've been defending like that for years.
They're all doing it. They're all doing it. It's Dean Young's bloody defensive pattern.
Yeah, we've been doing it for years, long before Dean Young was assistant.
Long before Dean Young, same play.
Jip Nightingale used to do it.
Yeah, but we had the defensive abilities to be able to pull that off back in 2010. We don't have that
exactly
now.
Right. No, that's right.
The 2010 side had beat the absolute shit out of today's squad.
And then as we go to that, Tyler Sloan again caught out there with Luai and Galvin. That just looks slick together. They caught Sloan out again with Luai going cross field. Dewey jumping right above Sloan, giving him no chance to get the ball. And it was Charlie Staines who went over again for a double. Big T. Luai finding out Sloan out there on that wing.
Right. I cheered when we scored the first try, and then I was sitting there with my mate Mick. He's a Tiger supporter, and he cheered when they scored their first try. He cheered even louder when they scored their second try, and then he just carried on there for the rest of the night. It was just oh my god, all night.
Yep, it was a definitely one of those nights where we're going to be a frustrating night, and I thought it was going to be a case of the Anzac Day game again at that point in time. And then a few minutes later, the Tigers 3 minutes in, they were in again. Luai, that man again, Luai, he was involved in everything, wasn't he, Hasman? That grubber kick he went. Samuela Fainu still fell over. No players in sight for the Dragons. Fainu still strolled over. Where was our defence there?
Absent, the same as the rest of the game. No, look, Luai absolutely ripped us apart last night. And any decent half with a decent pack is going to do that to us. That's just a fact of life. When we need to get our defence together, our forwards need to start doing shit. I think it's time to swing the axe and bring a few of the young guys up because, I mean, Clemmer did absolutely fucking nothing yesterday. Absolutely nothing. I don't know why the hell we bought him.
I didn't even see him, to be honest.
He caught that knockback. Remember, they done the short dropout and they knocked it back, and Clemmer was standing there going, "Oh, thank you very much." Turned around and got tackled. Didn't make any ground or anything. It was just.
That's another thing that I'm getting pretty sick of is the short dropouts.
Yeah,
it doesn't work.
I'm not against the current attack. The current attack, they'll score every time.
If you're under the pump, you belt the piss out of it.
Exactly, 100%.
It's not just this year. Like we did it last year with Hunt. So it must be Flanagan telling him to do that.
I'm starting to think he's not the coach we've been looking for.
This is not the coach.
I'm seriously having some doubts about him.
Oh, I'm sure you're not the only one. I'm sure plenty are having doubts.
There's been a few.
Yeah, we just some people. I've read in the comments today that some people think that he's probably the worst coach we've ever had. I think that's a bit of a stretch.
We've only
Not
won
when you
so
got
far
guys when you got guys
three
like
games.
Hook, Steve Price, and Paul McGregor in there.
No.
All right.
Like Hook has the worst winning percentage in Dragons history. I know he's only there 2.5 years, but it's still there. We were getting thrashed pretty much 40, 50, more than 70% of the time under Hook. So yeah. Now the most bizarre moment came after this, as has been said in Heroes and Villains, Coco. It should have been us getting back to within 4 points. Instead, the Tigers blew it out to 16 points to put the dagger in the hearts of not only Jaden Sewer and the whole team, but what was Jaden Sewer thinking?
I don't know, but I've watched that 4 times, different motion. They have to hold the fucking ball. That's what they need to do. Hold it, plant it. That's it. That's your job. And
he does it.
So mad.
He does it 1,000 times at training.
Exactly. If you do it at training, I don't care if it's fucking pissing down with rain. You fucking hold that fucking ball.
What constitutes a knock on? If the ball hits a Tigers player, it's called a knock on.
If he loses control of it.
No. But if it hits a Tigers player, is it a knock on?
Yes.
Yes.
Can they play on from that?
No.
If you have a look at that try, he dropped the ball and it hits Seyfarth's wrist and goes backwards. Have a look at it. It hits his wrist. As he's coming over the tackle, it hits his wrist.
It was actually Dewey. There was the one that came in.
Oh, it must have been Dewey then. Watch, it hits his wrist. I'm not saying it should not have been a try. It's a play on try. I call it a try. I sat there holding my head, shaking my head. It nearly fell off. But yeah, no. Not on.
How many times have we said, Hasman, on this show, why don't the Dragons play to the whistle? They did not play to the whistle.
He was gone before the fucking whistle went. Like, it would have gone. He was gone later. No one was going to catch him. No chance.
But they gave up on the play.
Nah. How can you give up on a play that you've got no chance at? He was gone. He was over the halfway before the Dragons players realised that the referee hadn't blown his whistle.
Yeah, not even Sloan was catching him at that point.
No. He was gone. They didn't give up. It was just gone.
And what would be your message to Jaden? Many people are calling him for being dropped for that.
Oh,
no, he doesn't need to be dropped. Okay,
he had a fairly good game. That was very quiet game.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah, I just
No,
love these
it's just an
fans.
unfortunate moment. You go back and
Yeah.
think about the old days when Phil Ritchie was running down the sideline for Manly and he just dropped the ball. You got Neville Glover that was going out for a try to win a grand final, just dropped
Or
the
Chris
ball.
Sandow. He was doing, remember
Chris
Sandow?
Sandow. You got Max
But-
Mannix. You've got hundreds of
Yeah.
them you can go
Yeah.
back to and find where they absolutely stuffed up in
Yeah.
the scoring process.
And he
You
probably
don't
beat
score.
himself up too.
You don't score until you score.
That's exactly right.
He was celebrating too early.
You're saying Sonny Bill. You're saying Sonny Bill was in a test match, I think.
In a World
Running
Cup
along,
game.
went down to the dead ball line, went, ha ha ha, I'm going to score.
Scored on the dead ball line.
Slipped over the dead ball line. It happens. Unfortunate it happened, and they scored a try from it. Unfortunate, but it happens.
I know.
And it was a turning point in the game. Jerome Luai said it. Benji Marshall said it. Flano even said it.
Well, that's the points we lost the game by.
Yeah.
6 points. We lost by 6 points.
It was a 12-point turnaround.
Oh, easy.
We scored there. We win the game.
Oh, I don't know if we win the game. No, I don't know if we win the game because that'll change the second half altogether. Like changing coaches' speeches and what they go on about. It'll change. If we scored that try, it'll change. So
I mean, if we scored that, it would be 20-16. You take that try away from the Tigers.
Exactly right. We could have won that. We could have won the game if we had scored, and they hadn't scored that long range try.
Anyway, well, let's hear from Flano and Cookie about the results. He was happy. He did see it's only a short presser, so we'll listen to it and let's hear his and Cookie's thoughts on the loss last night. He did think there were some bright moments as well.
That's what I said.
Flano?
Sort of different parts of it. They're all coming to get them. We come up with some errors, got some opportunities. Score, well, 6 points, 6 points behind, and we didn't nail them. And obviously, what happened just before half time ended up being the turning point.
What do you do in that moment? Do you just drop your head? Do you do like when? Like just you as the coach. Like obviously, it's a huge turn.
I thought it was a big turning point. Like we go to half time 2016, and I thought we were pretty. We scored tries when they had once again a few play the balls in their 20-metre zone, and would have been 2016, but it wasn't to be. And I loved that in the second half that we showed some grit and come back to get them. Because we could have, to go to 26-10, it's a big turnaround, 12-point turnaround. So to show some resilience and grit to come back, I thought it was good. And then we had opportunities to nail it at the back end, and we just didn't do it, and disappointing that way.
Are you concerned by some of the tries conceded and the way they were conceded?
Without a doubt, yep, Lara. Soft on last tackles, soft. We should have been able to get the football, make a tackle over the sideline. It just wasn't good enough.
How do you fix that, Flano?
We'll work hard at it. We'll work really hard at it. The frustrating thing for me is, some of the people in there in and around that have done it before, but they just didn't do it tonight.
What do you say to Jaden after that moment? Like Flano said, it's a big turn.
We just told him to drop it, like let it go. The mistakes in those games happen; those things happen, and it was a big turning point at half time. But we had given ourselves a chance to score some points. We left some tries out there, so it's not wasn't the reason we lost that game. We got a real lesson on keep moving till we get the ball and last tackle, and just making sure we execute down there. But there was times where we just didn't get out of our end or errors and penalties again.
How do you assess the call to bring Lycan in? A couple of really nice moments on an individual level from him tonight, I thought.
Yeah, I knew what he'd do tonight. He's a good young kid and he'll only get better.
Has he done enough to keep that spot for a little bit, do you think?
Oh, of course, yep. Did a good job.
Corey Allen, mate, got to play, make his debut. as well? How do you think he went, or how?
Yeah,
Please for him.
I thought Corey did well. Well, he carried the ball strong at the back end of the field, and the try saver under the goalpost on Buller. He did his job. I think he could have, Val gets a nice pass to him. He scores a winning try. So I thought Corey did a good job, and he's on the back of, an ACL. It was disappointing. He was just about to get to the start last year and did his ACL just before the season started. So he's worked hard in the rehab room, and it's good to see him back.
Just back to when he said the soft defence and players have done it 1 week, they've aimed up and then they don't the next. Is it an attitude thing? Is it just not wanting to put their body on the line? Can you pinpoint it?
Yeah, I don't think it's the second part of it. I just think, we just need to be more consistent in our performances, which I think we have been, bar last week against the Roosters. But I also think that we need to have a bit of more steel about us, right through. You can't defend on 5 plays and then you drop your guard on the last play, which we did tonight. I think there was 3, maybe 4 tries on tackle 6 in the last play, and we just need to work harder for longer. Because we scored points, that's not a problem for us. We just need to turn them away. Thank you.
Yep. Well, that about sums it
You
up.
don't do
There were
it.
some bright moments in that game. Our defence, as Flano highlighted, it's just not good enough, is it, Big T?
Not at all. Not at all. Our defence, 42 missed tackles. That's atrocious. No. I thought at the start of the season we had good defence. The line defence at the start of the season was absolutely fantastic, in some of the games. But I don't know, 42 missed tackles is disgraceful. I think West Tigers missed 19. So there you go.
Yeah. But into the second half, it was very important that we scored the first try to get back in the contest. And our super sub Hasman, Jacob Little, he got over from dummy half against his old club. What a try, what an impact he's been off the bench. And what do you make of this try from Jacob Little?
At that point, I was thinking any try was a good try. But he just seems to have this immediate impact when he comes on. Obviously, the plan is to use him against the tired forwards, which sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. But would it be worth him starting though? That's the question we need to ask. Like, can he maintain that same sort of impact over the full 80 minutes, or he plays 60 and then maybe Cook comes on for the last 20?
That's a conversation we may have a bit later, because Damien Cook did not finish the game. I'm not sure if he picked up an injury, but that's a discussion point which we'll get into later in the game when we get to the forced and unforced changes. Now we had a few minutes later, he was over again. This time with some good lead-up work with Corey Allen, Val Holmes, Lycan Kiktogia all combining, and they found Little over for his second. Now, Big T, it was game on at this point. We were back with
it. Was game on. I was thinking, here we go, second half revival. I've seen these before. Here we go. Yeah, I thought we were on our way back. I thought the Tigers were getting tired and the Dragons were rolling, but no.
Signs were good at that stage of the game. We
they were. That's right. Exactly right. Like I said, I thought we were charging. Like I said, I've seen comebacks like that before.
Yep. And there was, but the things, as Flano did mention, too many errors. Why do we make these simple fundamental errors? It's not just in this game. It's every game has, man. When we're in try scoring opportunities, we just can't seem to put the game away. We can't seem to hang on to the ball and turn the tackle, turn over the set very cheaply. What is wrong with our players? Why can't they hang on to the ball?
I think it comes down to a couple of things. I think it comes down to concentration, which I think is affected by fitness. I don't think we're anywhere near as fit as we need to be. When you get tired, you start doing stupid shit, and that just seems to be the part of the course for us. So, I mean, there's no point in doing these 16-mile runs, in pre-season. Like you'll be able to maintain intensity over 80 minutes.
That's it.
Consistently.
And we're lucky to go a half, if that.
There seems to be this 20-minute period where we just clock off.
It's not a good thing to be, is it? Not a good place to be.
No. Now, Coco, there's lots been talked about Kyle Flanagan's performance. Even though he did have the 6 on his back, it looked like he did play the halfback with Like Kitonia playing that running role. Now, a few moments in the game where he looked like he was. Well, his father said he's been one of our best this year. That's something we'll talk about a little later. But yeah, what did you make of his performance, especially that one where he threw it like way over the head of Tyrell Sloan? Not even a tall basketball player could have caught that. What was that about?
I know and he's not playing the best, but not everyone's not. But I think the coach really needs to sit down and have a think, because we should have the 6 and 7 as a confident pair. Like look at Luai and Galvin. Look, there was heaps of hype with Galvin, whatever, but still, we need to have that confidence. If need be, Flanagan needs to go back to New South Wales Cup and bring in Ilias and see if the pairing is good. Let it be. No hard feelings. It's business, okay? That's business. Like, everyone talks about Nathan Cleary and, good old Ivan Cleary. Who cares? Like, if your son's not playing the best, sorry, son, but you're going to the next best thing to get your fire back. That's what we need, the fire, the urgency. And yes, last night was a sucky game. The same with the Roosters game. We're just not working together as a team. We're not gelling. We're not doing anything. And that's a frustrating bit for us as watching it and wanting to cheer our team on. And it's so frustrating. But what else are we going to do? You have Clint Gutherson, who also didn't have the red hot go last night, only in inches, in little sippets. Because he's Clint, he gets away with it. But then Paul Sloan, who's on the wing, gets hacked on. And he's a kid too. Like, we can't just go, yep, he played shit, you played shit. Sorry, but we're going to hack on you. Put your heads in. Like, Flanagan needs to go to New South Wales Cup, bring in Ilias, see what happens. It's trial and error. Look at these guys like Egan, Stewart, who's coming in, LKT last night. They're playing great. And if they,
I think they're ready, all of them.
Yeah, they're ready. And Finau needs to also come back. Finau played great. It wasn't his fault that we played shit, because he was playing great. He's ready. Bring him in and start. That's that's my nip in my bud tonight, because I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. Giddy up. That's all I got.
Well, as Dale Crisdale did say in the comments, going back to New South Wales Cup isn't going to make Kyle Flanagan a better NRL half. He's been at 4 clubs. He's never delivered. He's never delivered. I'm not sure if he's going to be. As Rob said many times on this show, he was brought to the club to play 14.
Yeah.
And the circumstances of what was going on at the time when they did sign him, they had Flano, his father, Flano, had no choice but to put him in the halves. And we've been stuck with him in the halves ever since.
Can he play another position? I don't know if he just
14
one position. Oh, okay, well, sorry. Gosh, okay.
We've got Little's in 14.
See, see, Little is good, because when things get tough, like last night with Little, he actually had the balls to take it and do his own thing, which was great, because we need that. We need that person to be like, yeah, right, we're stuck in the mud. Let's do this. Let's just run the ball, and he scored a try, which was great.
Yep.
Yep, 100%. And then well, the Tigers, that they we were back to within 26-22. And then a soft penalty where Adam Dewey had a goal from right in front. I think it was, can't remember the exact moment in the game what it was for. They got a penalty right in front.
I think we held on for too long. I think it was something like that, or something stupid like that.
Yeah, and then the and
No, I think it was
Dewey.
from offside, wasn't it?
I
Yeah.
think it may have
The
been.
one I was thinking of.
Oh yeah, there was no. I think it was not square at marker or something. And yeah, Adam Dewey opted to take the 2, made it 28-22. Were you relieved that Dewey opted to take the 2 Hasman instead of going for the try, or were you
Yeah,
not
because
surprised?
if they'd gone for a try, they probably would have got it. You know, without
There we go. It was accidental offside.
Yeah.
Oh, accidental offside, says Dale.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dale.
He's on the money tonight, Dale.
We got some good fans out there. They're good fans.
Agree.
Is Dale again?
Not the worst idea, that one.
No.
Yep. Hamish Stewart, though.
That's the problem that we've got. The problem is if Hell does freeze over and Flanagan does get dropped, then we're basically looking at Glover, who honestly, he's got some serious defensive questions on him.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I think he's actually worse than. Overall, I think he's worse than Flanagan.
Jonah Glover.
Glover, yeah, I love him. Love Jonah Glover.
Anyway, there was still time for us to potentially send the game in a golden point. Now, Coco, Hamish Stewart went over for his first try, but as Big T said, he didn't muck around to have a celebration as there was only 2 minutes left on the clock. Good to see him get his first try, but did you still give us a chance at 34-28?
Yeah, I did. I'm the type of person, if it's close, and I'm like, people will say it's done. No, there's 80 minutes in a game, so I am the type, and I could not sit down. I had to stand up and just wait for the and every. Sorry, for that.
Don't worry about you, dog.
You're barking mad.
Oh, yeah.
Barking mad.
Yeah, they are. They were like, yes, but yes, I thought that we had one more in, one more, in us. I thought, but good on Hamish. Good on him for getting his first try too.
Yeah.
Yep. And a moment I did miss before that. Now, Adam Dewey got the ball on the last tackle. He did that little dribble into the in goal. Full Clint Gufferson. I mean, I've seen many people saying, "What's happened to the Guffo we bought?" Like, I know, Coco, you said he gets away with it, but he's not. He's getting the attention.
He was taken out.
Watching him.
Guffo was taken out.
He kicked it behind Guffo.
Hey,
Guffo didn't know what to do.
Yeah, look, Shitstones pushes him over.
Yeah, I just think for the ones that are like, the big name people in our team, because of their names, I just think like him, and people are probably going to go off at me, and I don't care. I've got thick skin, and it's just the way it is. It's like Flanagan because of his last name, he gets the rot as well, and Sloan because of how he is. But still, I like him playing, and I like when he gets that aggro aggression Gutherson has. And I want to see more of it. And when he talks to the players, like when he's mad, he will go for a play and go, right, do it, let's do it, and it's good. But we need that every game. We have the Warriors next week. I'm very worried about the Warriors next week. I'm very worried for our team.
Nah, we got him.
Yep, another disappointing loss. That leaves us, as you would have seen in that clip there before, none from 5 at Magic Round. We've never won a game at Magic Round, and we've still got to wait another 12 months if we don't get the bye next year to have another crack and try and win our first game at Magic Round.
We want the bye. We want the bye. We want the bye. Let's start a chant now. Come on. We want the bye.
No, I want to go.
We had it last year.
I don't care. I have it every year.
Make one of our buys the Magic Round every year.
That's right. Exactly right. Let's do it.
We're powerless.
Well,
we don't have any spells or tricks up our sleeve.
We don't have any magic.
You can apply to the NRL.
We're all puffed out.
Like other clubs do, to play on certain weeks, and we'll just say we won't play Magic Round. Easy. We'll get 2 points for that every week.
Yep. Anyway, we'll get into some news and rumours. You're on the Mad Dragons podcast, sponsored by Complete Warehouse Solutions. Go and see Jeff and the team at 6 Commerce Drive, Lake Illawarra. and give them a call on 4257 1930 or 0417 223 409. Now, the first headline that's come through on Thursday night, open Magic round and Hasman. What a performance. The Blues absolutely destroyed Queensland at Suncorp. 32 points to 12. What a win that was.
Yeah, I noticed Big T's gone off camera right about now.
He's scared.
Yeah, but honestly, I don't think we gave him enough shit in the chat. We should have stepped that up. No, it was a good victory by the girls, and yeah, hopefully we can continue that and blue wash them.
Coco, it was the most watched game on Channel 9 this year, the highest record for ever a women's State of Origin game, and to dominate Queensland up there at Suncorp. It was a real complete team performance, and good to see that the women's game thrive again.
Yes, it was. It was great to see the girls. But I also feel that we should have a women's game up there, like not the Origin, because they just went based on last year's effort.
He's
I'd love
back.
to see, So over to you, Big T. I was trying.
Oh, no, I thought...
Just getting back to the Origin demolition the other night. Seeing as Big T's back. How did Queenslanders get their asses handed to them?
Didn't New South Wales win the first one last year?
Yes.
Oh, that's last year.
And who won the trophy last year?
Ancient history.
Yes.
Oh, come on!
The next two games are in New South Wales this time.
History repeating itself.
Means absolutely nothing.
I thought it was a great game. I thought both teams played well. New South Wales just ambushed the Maroons, the Cane Toads.
Upton or Brigginshaw nowhere to be found.
No, that's right. I was saying all night, where the fuck is Brigginshaw? Bloody hell, she's getting too old.
Southwell was on fire.
Yeah, we want her back. Will we get her back, Jess?
We got her sister.
Will we get her back?
We never had her, Jessie. We never had her.
Oh, we'll take her. Nice. All right. Sorry.
It would be nice. But no, I don't think we are going to get her, unfortunately. But yeah. Anyway, wouldn't it be good to see 40,000 Blues at Allianz Stadium for Game 2 on Thursday, May 15, Coco, to wrap up the Shield?
Yes, it
Get
is.
out to Allianz Stadium.
Okay. Are you coming? We're going to have like a Dragons, podcast. We're at halftime. We're at the game. What do you reckon it's going to be today? Big
What was the crowd for the first game, Jess? What was the crowd up at Magic Round?
26,000 something.
That's awesome. Awesome. 26,000 fans
for a Thursday night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly right. That's a 4-day weekend for people. They go up there Thursday, watch the girls, and then watch the 8 games. I noticed too that a lot of the seats were empty. Like, did people just go up there to watch their team play? Like,
probably.
I'm not sure. Some people made 3 days of it, I've seen.
I know some people made 3 days of it, but you watch the games, and in the Dragons game after halftime, the place was half empty.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, where's everyone going?
Probably had enough.
If
my team, that's it. That's all I came to see.
If I get to Magic Round, I'm watching 8 games.
Yeah. Or you go
100%.
outside. I'll go to the Caxton too. I'm like, yeah, up yo.
You'll be at the Caxton every night.
on the wines.
You'll be dancing on the tables. You'll be dancing on the tables and you. I wouldn't dare do it in my New South Wales jersey, but in your Dragons jersey, just dancing.
You never know. What happens at Magic Round stays there,
And what Chris was saying, bloody every day it rained.
Oh.
But one moment did Big T highlighted off air was this moment when a little incident, only typical of the Queenslanders.
Oh, come on. It was an accident.
Only typical of the Queenslanders. Let's have a look and see if we can find it.
Oh, come on.
Let's see. Hang on. Where we saw the Queensland dressing room got a little bit wet before the game.
quite funny for the Maroons before kickoff. Right there, you just saw Lauren Brown kick the ball in the sheds while she was warming up and hit a sprinkler, which absolutely started flooding the sheds, kicked the girls out. And I think Lauren Brown, who is a firefighter, may have forgotten that she was doing not her day job, but her footy job tonight as she was putting the sprinklers on there, Emma.
Surely someone from New South Wales
That's
stitched
so
it up.
good.
Was it you, Gus?
No.
You'd have the power to do
It's a
that.
funny game, rugby league. Anything can happen at any time. We've got cameras everywhere. We get all the news.
Rugby league is a funny game.
Oh, there it is. She kicks it and hits the wall, hits the pipe, and it starts raining inside. That's what put Queensland off. You see, it was 25 minutes before the game,
and they had nowhere to warm up.
Nowhere to train, mate. Nowhere to train.
That's why they lost the game.
Chris, no, it wasn't. She done well. It's been a good game. All right.
Anyway,
go.
game 2, Allianz Stadium, Thursday, May 15. So it should be a beauty. Now, there's been a lot of talk who's going to be playing what in Origin. Game 1 will be at Suncorp Big T, and which will very important game. Laurie Daly returns as the coach of New South Wales.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of talk about who might the fullback be. Dylan Edwards out of form. James Tedesco, he's been called back by many as a recall. Ryan Pappenhausen's good, going well at the Melbourne Storm. Also, you got Tommy Turbo as an option as well. At the moment, who would be your New South Wales fullback?
David Clemmer.
Have to be Tedesco.
David Clemmer.
Bloody Clemmer. Fucking idiot. Tedesco's
like a Queensland thing to say.
Fullback at this point.
Right.
So if he can maintain this
Teddy.
sort of form, absolutely. I reckon he's got to get picked.
Yep. And now a lot of talk has been about the halves too, Coco. Moses played in the 2 games last year where we absolutely stumped Queensland. But Nathan Cleary returns. Nathan Cleary surely has to be in the side. But who do you think should partner him? Would it be Mitchell Moses or should it be Jerome Luai?
Nah, I like you. You know what? Nah, I think it should be Jeremiah. Jeremiah Pulfra. No, it should be Luai. I love that when people say the grub, and that's what you need in Origin. And if he can, you know how he said, you idiots have to go to work. Of course I have to go to work, mate. How else am I going to live? But you got to go to work too, but you get to be at Origin. So I like Luai. But, God, when is Origin for us? Forget.
May
15?
I'm pretty sure it's
Pretty
May
May.
28th.
We are in May.
May 28th.
Oh, far out, prospect. That's like at the end.
It's only a few weeks away.
Yeah, but then I don't know who. Yeah, I would say Luai, maybe Cleary. But for one, I would maybe Tedesco, but I was thinking maybe Travojevic, maybe, if he's available. If he's not bloody injured.
Potato
He
Cleary.
played last week.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Big T, I know this one's for you. Now, Tom Dearden was probably Queensland's best last year. With Cameron Munster becoming available, does Tom Dearden fit into this side somewhere? Especially with DCE, the halfback as well?
And Ben Hunt playing so well as well. He's having a blind right there in Queensland. Although they got beat tonight, didn't they? They got beat by Penrith. I think I got 2 this week. What were we talking about? Sorry, I went off track.
Who plays in the halves? Where does Tom Dearden fit into the team?
It's got to be Munster. And Dearden, maybe on the bench he could play the utility role. But unfortunately, 3 doesn't go into 2. So,
do you think DCE is there if available?
DCE for sure, absolutely positive. He lifts for the Sea Eagles, so he lifts big for Queensland. So yeah, he's got to be there.
Yep. Now in the last 24 to 48 hours, we've seen Flano come out and defend his son Kyle. about his place in the team. Many fans have been called for him to be dropped alongside Lachlan Ilias. Now, Hasman, Flano has stated that Kyle has been one of our best, and there is no chance of him being dropped. What is your response to what Shane Flanagan said to that? What do you have
my
to say
response
to
to that is get absolutely fucked. He has not been one of our best at all. That is, I don't know what games he's been watching. Must be watching old. Actually, yeah, must be watching old bloody Cronulla games or some shit. I don't know. But no, I reckon sooner or later he's gonna have to drop him. He'll have to. If he keeps playing the way he is, he cannot keep defending him. At some point, he's going to be defending the indefensible.
100%.
Look, Big T, I know you were a bit advocate for.
He's already doing it.
I was a big advocate for Kyle and Elias. Huge advocate for both of them. Thinking, I knew. I said what Rob said earlier in the year, that he was brought to the club as a 14. Then we lost Ben Hunt, and then we picked up Cookie.
He was brought in as a 14, knowing full bloody well that Junior was basically gone,
and he let Hunt go.
Wanted out.
Yeah,
he already knew that.
Yeah, he's got to do something. Kyle hasn't done enough. He's played well in games. He's played exceptional in games, but he hasn't done enough. He hasn't done enough. I think he's got three try assists, something like that.
It's not good enough for an NRL half.
No. It's round 9. It's round 9. So he's got to have 9, 10 try assists in that time to be a.
Okay, let me ask you this. What was the difference between Flanagan's kicking last night and what Ilias has been doing for the first 8 rounds?
It was worse.
It was. I'm not saying.
In terms of what he was actually doing, what's the difference?
King Tagia
came the bloody throw to the winger or bloody fullback.
He's got no kicking game.
That's exactly what he dropped Ilias for. He's got to drop him for that as well.
Just see the kicking stats. Flanagan kicked 11 kicks for 387 metres. Like in King Takia, 1 kick for 95 metres.
Yep.
Like, why wasn't he doing more kicking? We didn't have field position.
No.
Because the kicks weren't going deep enough. And if he kicked 1 kick, I think it was 1 kick for 95 metres, why wasn't he kicking?
And this is not an attack on him. We just want the 10 to go better.
No, not at all. I'm just saying I don't think he's done enough.
No, I don't think he has either. And on that game last night, I'm like he's just too flat when he gets the ball. He doesn't get, and he just that pass for Sloan. He had no chance of catching that. He should have scored that though, Sloan. Sloan had no chance of catching that. What was Kyle Fleagy when he threw that pass?
Anyway, let's move on from bashing Kyle. Come on, let's go.
Now, there were some highlights from the game. Now, Coco, Flano was impressed with Lycan King Togia and also Corey Allen. They were the just 2 players called up for this game. How did you think they performed, and will they be there again next week against the Warriors? All right, you take it, Hasman. I don't know where Coco's gone.
Going to get another glass of wine, probably. No, look, I think King Togia absolutely has to be there. Allen, I mean, he did all right, but
that try-saving tackle was enormous.
That was a big moment. So for the time being, he probably deserves to stay there. I'd leave Ilias down in reserve grade for a few more weeks. I don't think one game doesn't make a season. But I think LKT absolutely deserves to be there next week.
Now we'll get into some lower grades results. Both our New South Wales Cup and Jersey Flag had a trip to Lidcombe Oval today. Both teams securing big wins.
Massive
The
win.
Jersey Flag won 56 points to 18 over the West Magpies up at Lidcombe Oval. I'll just bring up who the stars of the show were. Let's have a look. And also the New South Wales Cup side won 60 points to 26 with doubles to Lachlan Ilias, Cody Ramsey, and Ben Rumble. But Aaron, no, no. As man said, 1 week is not enough to prove himself.
No, it's got to be unique.
So who scored 3 tries?
So we had Ben Rumble scoring a hat trick.
Nice. He's a good player, Ben Rumble. Tall boy too.
We saw Lachlan Ilias getting a double. We got Cody Ramsey got a double.
Too good.
And Jonah Glover actually had a better day off the boot. He got 8 from 10. That's a bit better from
him, yeah.
Yeah.
Raymond Fitzgerald right up for his kicking.
Scorers, as well as the Finau brothers, Sione and Haley. Nick Sagranis also had a strong game there. He got a try. And yeah, it was the Dragons winning 60 points to 26.
No beauty.
With,
Is there anywhere we can watch that game, Jess?
If you have a Bar TV subscription, I think it's $20 a month to watch it. You can watch lower grades like Jersey Flag, New South Wales.
When's Donny back?
I think he's back next week, actually.
All right.
So I know it takes a little bit of pressure off me and Hasman, doesn't it? But we will
exactly right.
It will be a pleasure to have the captain back next week, Hasman.
It'll be a massive relief to have him back.
Yeah. After
I don't know how he does this week after week, coming up with the
that's right. Yeah.
vendor and running the whole show. It's a mammoth effort to do, which you don't realize until you've actually got to do it yourself.
Yeah, I hope he enjoyed his time off.
Shitty with us for not sending out 3-2-1s in a timely fashion.
Yes, lot that goes on.
I forgot till this morning.
That's for sure. We've worked out how it's not easy to pull an agenda together, is it, Hasman?
Oh, it's not easy to pull the show together.
No, it's not easy at all.
Yep. So we'll be good. A relief and good to have you back on next Sunday. It looks like. Donnie, if you're there watching, still probably over there in Japan, but
drinking sake and eating sushi, mate. That's what he's doing over there.
Well, he probably would
voting next to Castles, Big T.
Pardon?
And voting next to Castles.
And voting next to Castles, yeah, I am. He voted in Japan in the Australian federal election next to a castle in Japan. Yeah, crazy. Osaka Castle, I think it was. Osaka Castle or something. Yeah, not many people have done that.
Now, there's been many talk about Magic Round. It looks like it's been another success where we've seen over 150,000 people venture to Suncorp over the 3 days. Now, Big T, I know you love Queensland and all things about it.
No, I love Queensland. I don't like Queensland teams.
2027. The contract ends with Suncorp. Would you like to see it stay at Suncorp? I mean, it's been there for the last 6 years. Do you think it should stay there, or would you like to see it go to another venue? Or does Suncorp do it very good? Does Suncorp do a very good job up there?
Oh, let's have a look. What other venues would have it, and could the ground hold up to it? We've got the 2 Sydney stadiums. Maybe we can play 4 games there and 4 games there. You know what I mean?
Just New Zealand.
New Zealand, maybe you can play them 4 in the south, 4 in the north. You've got 2 massive stadiums over there. Would you take it to Adelaide? I don't know. Maybe 2029 we could take it to Perth when Perth team comes in. We have to get Johnny to sign a contract too. We've got to get him to sign a loyalty contract to the Dragons.
Yes, we don't want him going to start a podcast with the Bears in the cave.
No bear caves.
But no, what do you think of the Magic Round concept? Should it remain at Suncorp?
No, I think it should move around. I think it should. Or give the like Suncorp, they've had it for 7. Maybe give out 5-year contracts. And it goes there for 5 years and then moves on the 6th year. Could do that. Was it the Broncos' idea to come up with this?
No, it's the NRL's.
Oh, the NRL's idea. Yeah, move it around, give everyone a chance. Maybe take it to Darwin. I don't know. Depends on how. Depends on which ground.
You can only play 9 at Darwin.
That's right. Yeah. You can play it over 7 days. Depends on if the grounds can hold up. North Queensland, maybe that'll hold up. I'm not sure. But 8 games of football, you've seen it tonight. They resurfaced 60% of Suncorp, and you could see around the edges it was starting to get really slippery. And as you've seen, Brian Kelly slipped over kicking the goal.
Yep. And just on that game, there's the final game of Magic Rounds currently going on. Early in the second half, we've got a thriller going on. It's the Storm 14, the Raiders 12. So very close one there.
The Raiders have just got a penalty as well.
So it looks like they'll level us up. Will they, Hasman?
No.
No?
They're going for the try. That's what Ricky Stewart says.
Well, they're 30 metres out on the first tackle, so they're looking,
John Muller was saying it was 14-0.
Yes, Melbourne were up 14-0.
Yeah, it was.
Good
So
game.
the Raiders have fought their way back into this.
But they're such a grinding team, Canberra. For the last 3 years, they grind out a win.
They're an exciting team to watch now. All these young guys coming through.
Yeah, I don't like them. But anyway.
And what's the other thing? Okay. And now we'll get into forced and unforced changes. Now, Emre Gula dislocated his shoulder. Coco. So it looks like he'll be out for an extended period. I'm not sure if they were able to pop it back in. A lot of fans calling for Loco Tonga to get his debut. Does Flano bite the bullet and hand it to him and hand another young player the room? Or does he recall Blake Laurie?
Oh, I love Blake Laurie. I think he's a great person. He's a great player. And I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him. Unfortunately, he's like the team. It's not his fault. So I just think, why not give the young guy? Look at the other young guys like Egan, Stewart coming in, LKT. You know, it's so good to see them in. Let's give them a shot. It's one opportunity, one shot. You know. How else are they going to learn to be in NRL and how the game is if they don't have that opportunity? So, Mr.
That's against the Wars. The Wars are a huge pack.
I know, right? Yeah, they are.
Yeah, we're going to need the biggest.
We're going to need the biggest.
You're not going to be able to the most mobile pack and run around them. That's just not going to work.
No, they're playing good football.
Who do we have in New South Wales Cup that is big? Who's a good New South Wales
Loco.
Loco.
Yes.
XPT. XPT. Not Coco. Loco.
That's got some ring to it.
Mate, she like Coco would come up to his belly button.
Yes.
Wow.
He's a giant. He is a giant.
Oh,
He is huge.
Well,
I look up to
do
him.
need him.
I'm not sure if James Fisher-Harris is back though for the Wires. I'm not sure.
We'll find out Tuesday.
And Damien Cook didn't finish the game. Hasman, do you think there's concerns for him? We did see him in the presser, so he seemed to be okay. What do you think? There's any concerns for Cookie?
I mean, I'm not sure exactly what happened to him, but I mean, let's just say he gets ruled out for whatever reason. I mean, who else have we got? In terms of
probably start at 9.
We've already. I mean, Little's already there. And I don't think Mollison's in our top 30, is he?
No, he cannot play. He's not eligible. If he's looking for a utility, he might have to bring Jonah Glover onto the bench.
Might have to. Or bring Jared Glover into the starting side and put Kyle Flanagan where he's supposed to be.
Yeah, we was put him where he was bloody signed to play.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he'll
Anyway.
probably call up Laurie. He'll call up Blake. But I thought Blake had a good game last time he played.
On Anzac Day, he was a little bit
He
off.
had an all right game. He had
A
an
lot of
all
the
right
team
game.
Did
He
his
had an all
job,
right
but nothing outstanding. No.
Again, same as Flanagan did their job, but nothing special.
Now it's a huge game against the Warriors. But 3 from 8 simply isn't good enough, Hasman. We're a third of the way through the season.
I just said that.
How do you rate us at this point in time?
D-.
Look, I think we're pretty much where everyone expected us to be. I don't think we'll. I think we'll finish somewhere between 8 and 12.
Somewhere between first and last.
Lisa, Nathan Lawson can play now if we want him to.
Yeah,
he was 18th man in that game last night. He was
18th man, so he's eligible now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a start against the Warriors. Look how good Mark Nawangani-Tawasi's going. He's
he's my bolter for Origin. That's how good
he's a blinder. He's having a blinder for the Roosters. And they come from the same place, really. Same as Will Warbrick down in Melbourne. They've all come from the same place.
7th, and the Wangani-Tawasi played the full game.
Yeah, but they all come from a sevens background.
Yeah.
So
he wouldn't look out of place in a New South Wales jersey in Origin, I don't think.
No.
I think they've got the better deal than Suwali, who's gone to Union.
Yeah, probably. I think so too. Didn't he break his arm after the first game or something?
I think it was his foot.
There you go. All that money for nothing.
Oh,
Anyhow, let's roll
on. But yeah. Now Hasman, Dylan Egan a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, in that game over Manly, Dylan Egan said he's after Jackson Ford. He's beaten all the Gerringong boys. He's beaten Tyron Wishart. He's beaten Ruben Garrick. He's coming for your boy Jackson Ford.
What do you say?
I mean, there's a pretty good chance that Jackson won't even be picked.
What? What's going on with Jackson Ford? Is he injured?
No, he's just
playing shit.
I've just seen from a number of Warriors supporters on Twitter and all that sort of thing that their strongest lineups don't include him.
He's playing off the bench. He was starting it. He did start the year as a starting forward, but he's been found out of favour. That they've got a few good young forwards there. So, and Luke Metcalf's playing quite well as well. So, but we'll talk about that more on Tuesday night when we do have our Warriors guest, Big T.
Whoa, Warriors guest.
We do welcome back Christian, who has been on the last couple of years. But it'll be at an earlier time, so you can. That'll be separate to the vodcast.
And Skip's on holidays, by the way.
He's having a little holiday, isn't he, Hasman?
On holiday. He's on
For
holidays.
those watching?
He's having a few weeks break. He fronted the judiciary and was ended.
But yeah.
So he'll be back. He'll be back.
He'll be back when he does his good behaviour bond.
He'll be back on the 1st of June.
Yep.
There you go.
But yeah, nothing magical about that performance. Really back to the drawing board. I'm not sure where Flano goes from here.
Wholesale changes.
A lot to be worked on. That's what we want, wholesale changes. Not holding me breath that Flano will do them.
No.
It's a huge game against the Warriors next week as we return to Wynn Stadium next Saturday night to face the Wires. Next fortnight, it's huge as we got the Warriors, then the Broncos before heading into the State of Origin period where we got a bye for the first game of the State of Origin. So it's really vital that we win these next couple of games to get our season a little bit back on track.
Totally.
But we've got to improve a lot. That's an understatement. We've got to really turn it on and really start fighting for each other and start turning up, because we can do it. We've shown we can do it. We've got to put it in and play for 80 minutes, just do those little things right. We do those things right, and start playing football and then throw the ball around, get our defense in order. As Flano said, we've got to have that red V steel. If we can stand up to these teams and not leave any gaps and limit the tries, we can win games of football, and that's what we've got to do. It's a business. We've got to win games of football, and that's what the NRL is all about. Don't win games, there's got to be consequences.
You don't get 2 points. You finish last.
That's right, and we've got to win games. That's what we're in the business for. Win games of football. We want to see the Dragons winning games of football, and we will hopefully we will start seeing that on Saturday night against the Wars, which we will preview on Tuesday night show. So come on, Dragons fans, fire up!
Coco is at Pell's heart, she wears it on her sleeve. As Muzz tells tales of Dragons wins and tuna victory. Tony and the MP crew will do their very best. Getting off topic and I digress with a red V on our chest. The Mad Dragon podcast is a sheep of frog runnery. Navigating rants down rabbit holes in the land of Big Red V. And so I peddle sweet potatoes and a fruit soup is our dream. The Mad Dragon podcast, funded by our team.